Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I had to once again think about that for a minute. It's going to be a lot harder when the gates come out. Um, Going into this episode, here's the thing. I'm starting to have some issues with Chanel, right? I'm really starting to have some issues with Chanel because I understand what Johnny did was wrong. Okay, I get that, right? But here's the thing, though, and I know I sound like a broken record, but marriage used to actually mean something before my generation. I don't know what happened. Somebody must have dropped the ball somewhere. And I feel like today's generation is the type of just, it's too hard. Let's just move on. It takes too much work. I don't want to do all that. And I don't know if it's a syndrome of the grass is greener on the other side, whatever it is. And you know what? Yeah, let me go just a tad bit kind of deep. Okay? I want all the mothers who have sons really start vetting some of these women that your sons are dating. Okay? Because if they're anything like Chanel, I'm telling you right off rip, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to sit there and talk to your sons or something like that because I guarantee you, the minute that they mess up in any slightest way, and I don't mean like something that's like unforgivable, like assault or any form of assault. And yes, cheating is bad. Don't get it twisted. And I get that part. But even Paulina looked at Chanel like, wait, that's it? Like, yeah, that's bad. And at times I would sit there and say, hell, you can even separate, take some time and really kind of figure this out. But there are things you can do to sit there and work on your marriage. When you get married, it's not like you're just dating and stuff like that. When you get married, that actually means something, right? And so, she walks in and she's like, I quit the show. And then she's like, I'm just going to go back to my first love. Now, Johnny, for some odd reason, thought that she meant Allie. And Chanel was like, well, Allie has a boyfriend. But I didn't stop you last time when you were practically being a predator and going after Allie when Allie was with Trip. So don't give me the whole, well, she has a boyfriend. Now, she calls Joy a homewrecker. I love my subscribers. Because my subscribers will remind me, just in case I kind of forgot, some of the shit that she did. You want to call her a homewrecker? I guess you must have kind of forgot when she slept with her professor. The one that was married? Yeah. Yeah, she had no problem sitting there wrecking that. She knew right from wrong. I know people can sit there and say, but there was a power dynamic and da-da-da-da-da, and she was just, I don't give a shit. She was a homewrecker as well. So don't give me that. And also, here's another thing. Here's one of my pet peeves. Calling someone a slut. I feel like there's certain words that I just would not use, and I don't understand how people feel so comfortable to using that specific awful word, right? And somehow I feel like it's even worse when a woman says it because you know exactly what it's like when you get called that. You know exactly what it's like when you can have the same amount of bodies as a man, but you'll get judged differently than a man. But yet she had no problem sitting there calling Joy that. It wasn't that long ago that she got hurt by Johnny because Johnny called her that. Which, again, I'm not sitting there giving Johnny a pass. I'm not saying, oh, come, what Johnny did wasn't that bad. You can just. But even somebody in the comment section, because I had to watch a little bit of this on YouTube, because, like, Peacock sometimes is just. I can't with Peacock at times. But even somebody else is like, she's being a drama queen. And I wouldn't sit there and go that far, but like, damn, girl, like, okay, he messed up. Yeah, y'all survived losing a child. Okay, you survived losing a child. You can survive damn near almost anything. And I do sit there and say almost anything because, assault and hitting and stuff like that are obviously no nos. But beyond that stuff, if you survive that, you could survive anything. But I'm like, how you sit there and call Joy that, and you got hurt when he called you that? Like, she's just coming across as a damn hypocrite. Is my issue. And granted, I've never fully liked Chanel, but I never really. I don't want to sit there and say hate. I never could. I never. Well, before they changed, the actor or the actress that played her, I couldn't stand the very sight of her. I couldn't like every scene with her was like a chore. It was like an absolute nightmare just to get through because she was that much of a terrible person. The same one that she sat there and called Joy. Anyway, Abe comes in and she's like, "I quit," and Abe's like, "No, you can't do that." And of course, this chick decides, "Oh, I'm going to use a stepdaughter card. Oh, you're not going to sit there and try to, sue me. You're not going to sue your stepdaughter." And I'm like, "No, but Kate will." And I said this yesterday. I was like, her ass should have dealt with Kate because Kate is not going to use kid gloves in her ass, and she's not going to back down from Paulina's loudmouth. And that's who she should have sat there and dealt with. And Johnny offers to quit, but it's not gonna. She still got to do scenes with with Joyous. That's a no no. You know, this is my whole thing. And I was, sometimes me and Jess and some other people will sit there and talk about the Vampire Diaries, right? And we talk about like particularly boundaries, right? Now, Ian Somerhalder, if you watch the Vampire Diaries, you know what I'm talking about. Ian Somerhalder and Nina, I think her name is Nina, they dated, right? And, they worked together. They dated anyway. Like, this is not something you should be doing. They dated, didn't work out. And then every scene after that was just a nightmare to sit there and have those two together. They felt like it was just very difficult and the chemistry was off or whatever. But my whole thing is like, you do all that personal BS, then it starts affecting the show. And how many times have we seen this scene that now? You know? Nicole was gone because of some BS that Alar, because I refuse to call him by his first name, um, messed up on. Scenes that would have been a lot better between her and Holly, but we can't get that because Alar just couldn't keep it in his pants. Right? Like you couldn't just hire some women? Like, I mean, damn, bro. Like, anyway, she leaves. And, at some point she runs into what's the thing called Robert, runs into Alex and says that her marriage is over. And she was like, well, my career's over too. And, I love working there and I missed it, but, my career is over, my marriage is over. I was like, okay, but these are things that you're actively choosing to end. You're actively choosing to leave that job and you're actively choosing to leave your marriage. And you don't have to do either one of them. You can suck it up, be a big girl, put on your big girl pants, and deal with it. You can sit there and deal with your marriage. You can get counseling. Okay, there are options. There's separation things that you can do. You're choosing that. Okay, because let's be honest, that's just the easy way out. You're still gonna have to see him in town. So I mean, unless you leave, which I mean, I wouldn't be missing her, but that's the only thing. But again, this just goes back to this generation. So again, all you ladies that have sons, make sure you are vetting these women because you do not want your son to sit there and end up with a Chanel. Because I guarantee you, your son's heart is going to get broken. And I don't normally sit there and say I want you to better your son's love life, but I mean, some of the women that your sons have to sit there and pick today, just saying. Now, Stephanie kind of kind of vexed me today because she asked Chad to look up this whistleblower person so this way they can find them and confront them. But he has a policy as far as like protecting his if this person wants to be anonymous, then that's their policy to sit there and protect that. And she's like, well, you should do it because you should do it for a friend. You, the show is hurting. I mean, the person is hurting the show with negative reviews and spoilers. Here's my thing, and this is the reason why it bothers me. Okay, now I will read every single character, every single show. I'll sit there and say, well, General Hospital is sucking right now. Days is doing better right now. Days is falling asleep behind the wheel, and da 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 da. Can you imagine if some executive was like, oh, this guy is giving a bunch of negative reviews, and it's going to hurt our show, so we need him gone. Okay, YouTube, you find a way to make that happen. Okay, YouTube's like, well, we're not supposed to really get. Hey, listen. Okay, we're friends. I give you money and stuff like that. My AdSense and stuff like that. Seriously, that's what that generally comes down to. That would be that every single person, me, Andre Epps, a bunch of other people, um, will sit there and get just like that because the network doesn't like the fact that I'm saying mean things and spoilers. And I get spoilers to some extent, but that's not against the law, and that's just something that you need to probably tighten up your security on. But even if we take that away and the negative reviews, it's like, okay, well, do a better job then. I don't know what to tell you. And for some odd reason, he decides to cave, and I'm like, great. Now think about that. That's a article. That's just whatever. They can do it to and granted, yes, it's just a show, but it's like they can do it to somebody like whistleblower. They can do it to somebody like me. So I had an issue with that. Hattie apologizes to Bonnie, and then Bonnie goes to Leo to get her character back on the show. And Leo is feeling generous, even though he had a run in with Carrie, which, if I forget to sit there and say, is whistleblower. At one point, Javi did walk past him, and I'm like, dude, seriously? But, they get to talking. He tells them about his problems with Lady Whistleblower and his job being at Jeopardy and everything like that. And they seem like they have a civil conversation and even agree to be friends. Until Carrie walks up and, he has kind of a little stink attitude and they decide to go back to Ray's place because it's not Hobby's place. And, at one point, Carrie seemed like he was a little kind of vexed, like, why do you want to be friends with him? Why do you want to hang out with him for? And at first I was like, dude, y'all just start going out together, like, getting hella possessive, like, but on some level, at first I was like, okay, I get it. It's a new relationship, but hey, you like this person hanging out with somebody who they used to date, yeah, it could be a very uncomfortable and awkward situation. Like, it is going to make you feel a little kind of funny, because y'all do have a bit of history, and now you're stepping back and being friends. I'm supposed to, like, I can see how messy it is. But it just turns out it's because he's Lady Whistleblower. Um, Now, Joy is finally standing up for herself after the pep talk with Alex, and it's like, you know what, listen, I'm done beating myself up. It happened, it was a mistake, it was horrible, but I'm not going to sit there and quit the job because of it. Going into the next year, I'm going to do a lot better, and, just kind of forgive myself a little bit. So I was happy about that because Chanel's going to sit there and say, you're a home wrecker, you're this, you're that, you're the third. And of course, I'm going to be sitting there watching it, roll my eyes every time she says something, being like, man, I remember you're in that position. And the sad thing is that the sad thing is that she's the type of woman that you can sit there and confront her and be like, hey, listen, you did all this, that, and the third. And then she'll sit there and say, yeah, but that was a long time ago. Okay, but you still did it though. I don't care how long it was. You still did it, and now you're coming across as a damn hypocrite. You snipped there being all mad and angry, and I get that. I get that's the part that vexes me because Chanel was done dirty. If we're gonna be honest, she got accused of something called horrible names, something she didn't even do. And Johnny could have been an adult in the situation and just talked to her, right? But Johnny was scared. Johnny was scared because at this point he was already having issues and he felt insecure and he felt stupid and, on some level in the beginning kind of belittled. But even afterwards, he didn't want to rock the boat. But then he just assumed instead of talking to her, he just did what he did. And it was wrong, right? And then he finds out that not only did he sit there, not only did he call her awful names, but he did it as some sort of way of, well, if you did it, I'm going to get back at you. She didn't even do anything. So I'm not sitting there just tearing her apart just to tear her apart because I do understand where she's coming from. And that's the part where it's like, I want to have sympathy. I do have sympathy. But at the same time, it's like, bro, you did wrong too, right? And I'm not just saying that it's easy. And, on some levels, maybe you can't forgive that. But you can do the work and you can sit there and try. At the very least, you can sit there and say, I tried. Yeah, I had a lot to say. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else. If I forget anything, write in the comment section below. I'll come to the live stream tonight. That is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be going over all the shows. I know General Hospital didn't come on today, but well, we gotta talk about yesterday's episode because I didn't do a stream yesterday, so we'll talk about it today, as well as the other 3 shows, and I will see you in the next video.